Welcome to the healing room. Today, you're not just watching another video. You're entering a sacred space, a pause in the chaos, a soft landing for your soul. This is your invitation to return to yourself, to rekindle your connection with something far too often forgotten, your own worth. So find a quiet corner. Let your shoulders drop. Let your thoughts dissolve like mist in the morning sun. Because today, we don't just talk about self-love, we feel it. And you won't want to miss what's coming next. It begins quietly, almost imperceptibly. You are born with no sense of inadequacy, only presence, curiosity, joy. You giggle without shame. You cry without apology. You simply are. And in that state of being, you are whole. But then comes the noise. The noise of should. You should behave like this. You should look like that. You should try harder. You should be more, or less, or different. It creeps in through comparisons. Why can't you be more like him? Why can't you be less like her? And slowly, the seeds are planted. You begin to believe that love is something you must earn, that rest must be justified, that your worth is not innate, but conditional. You begin to monitor your behavior to be accepted. You suppress your truth to avoid conflict. You strive endlessly to be enough, not for yourself, but for someone else's approval. And here lies the great forgetting. You were never required to prove your value. Your existence, your breath, your presence, was already the proof. But the world told you otherwise. It told you that your body wasn't the right shape, that your emotions were too much, that your quietness was a flaw, that your voice should be louder, or softer, or not at all. And like erosion on stone, the self-love you were born with wore down, replaced by striving, performing, pleasing, numbing. Yet still, beneath all that, your true self waits. Not broken, not lost, but buried beneath expectations that were never yours to carry. And here's what you must remember. You are worthy of this peace, this care, this moment. Not after fixing yourself, but because of who you already are. Even when you failed. Even when you were overwhelmed and messy and undone. Especially then. Because those are the moments when your soul whispers loudest. You are still worthy. You are still lovable. You are still enough. So now, let's come back. Let's come home. Wherever you are, allow yourself to pause. Set down what you're holding, physically and emotionally. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. You've been carrying too much for far too long. Close your eyes. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Hold it gently. And breathe out through your mouth with a sigh. Again. Inhale, and let your lungs fill with newness. Exhale, and let go of what no longer serves. Now, imagine a golden light forming in the center of your chest. This light doesn't come from outside, it arises from you. It's always been there, dormant, quiet, patient. This light is the part of you untouched by trauma, untouched by judgment. It is the pure essence of you, before the noise, before the pain. With every breath, this light grows brighter. It spreads slowly, to your throat, your shoulders, your belly. It softens the places that have been holding so tightly. It soothes the silent ache you've been ignoring. Say to yourself, softly, as if speaking to a child you love, I am safe. I am allowed to rest. I no longer need to prove anything. Let these words settle into your bones. Let them take root in your heart. This is not a performance. This is a return to your truth, to your worth, to yourself. Let me share a story. One I carry in my own heart. Years ago, I traveled to Kyoto, Japan, a quiet, misty morning, and a tea ceremony in an old wooden monastery. The room was simple, tatami mats, the sound of birds outside, and the steam of hot water rising from the kettle. An elderly monk was preparing tea. His hands were weathered, movements precise and slow, as if each motion was a prayer. But as he lifted a porcelain cup, it slipped. It hit the ground and shattered. I gasped, instinctively, like most of us would. But the monk? He simply smiled. Ah, he said. Beautiful. Instead of discarding the shards, he knelt, picked them up, and gently laid them aside. Later, he showed me the same cup, but now, it was repaired. Not with invisible glue to hide the break, but with golden lacquer. Bright, bold seams of gold where cracks once were. It was a practice called Kintsugi, the art of embracing damage. He whispered, "What is broken, when mended with love, becomes stronger, and more beautiful than before." And in that moment, I realized, we spend so much of our lives hiding our cracks, ashamed of our pain, terrified someone might see the places where we fell apart. But the truth is, your scars are not shameful. They are sacred. They are evidence of healing, of growth, of survival. You are not the damage. You are the gold that holds it together. And your worth is not diminished by your wounds. It is defined by how you rise with them. So, stop hiding. You are not here to be flawless. You are here to be real. We often talk about self-love as if it's a soft, sentimental thing. But let's speak truthfully, self-love is science. It's chemistry. It's wiring. It's biology reclaiming its balance. When we practice compassion toward ourselves, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest, digestion, and healing. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. The heart slows. Blood pressure stabilizes. Even our immune system functions better. And the reverse is also true. When we criticize ourselves, ignore our pain, push past our limits, the body hears that, too. The mind shouts, but the body always listens. Have you noticed how your back aches when you're carrying emotional weight? How your stomach tightens when you're filled with unspoken anger? How your breath becomes shallow when anxiety walks in uninvited? The body is your ally, but it needs your partnership. Self-love is not just emotional healing. It is cellular healing. It is the difference between surviving and thriving. So, let's be clear. Loving yourself is not a luxury. It is the most radical, biological act of resistance in a world that profits off your self-doubt. Let's talk about emotions. You were probably taught to control them. To be strong, which really meant, be silent. To stay calm, which really meant, suppress. But emotions are not misbehaviors. They are intelligence in motion. They are signals. Messengers. Carriers of deep truths. Anger says, I have been violated. Sadness whispers, something important was lost. Fear pleads, I need safety. Joy bursts out, I am free here. We've learned to fear the uncomfortable ones, grief, shame, guilt, and chase the pleasant ones. But all emotions are sacred visitors. The key is to welcome them, listen to them, learn from them, and then release them, like honored guests. Emotional maturity is not about staying happy all the time. It is about sitting at the table with your pain, and not abandoning yourself. Say to yourself, it is safe to feel. I am strong enough to hold space for this. No feeling is permanent. Because the moment you stop running from your feelings, they stop chasing you. Let us return, again, to the body. Sit or lie down, however you are most comfortable. Place your right hand over your heart. Feel the rhythm, steady, quiet, loyal. This is your compass. It doesn't care about trends, about expectations, about what the world demands of you. It only speaks one language, truth. Now close your eyes. With every inhale, imagine drawing light into your chest. With every exhale, imagine that light expanding. Say softly, I choose presence. I choose truth. I choose peace. If your mind wanders, let it, and gently return. Again and again. Because returning to yourself is the whole practice. Imagine the version of you who is not afraid. The one who speaks her truth with grace. Who says no with love. Who rests without guilt. That version of you is not imaginary. It is already inside you, just waiting for permission to emerge. So, give yourself that permission. Now. Today. This breath. You have many roles. Parent, child, partner, provider, artist, healer. But beneath them all, there is just one thing, you. Raw, real, whole. And you don't owe the world your perfection. You owe it your presence. This is your invitation to choose differently. To choose stillness when the world screams for speed. To choose gentleness in a culture of achievement. To choose coming home, again and again. Yes, you will forget. Yes, you will fall back into old patterns. That's okay. Because self-love is not a finish line. It is a daily return. A sacred remembering. And every time you choose it, you heal a little more. So, as we close today, remember this. You were never broken. You were buried. And now, you are rising. Say these slowly. Let each word be an offering to yourself. I am worthy. I am not behind. I am exactly where I need to be. I honor my rest as sacred. I forgive myself for the ways I abandoned myself. I will not rush my healing. I am safe in my own body. I am home. Take one final breath in. Feel your chest rise. Exhale, and feel everything soften. If this journey touched something inside you, please share it. You never know who else is silently carrying the weight you've just set down. Subscribe to the Healing Room. Every week, we'll walk together, through silence, through stillness, through self-love. You are not alone. Not now. Not ever. Until next time. May you be gentle with yourself. May you rest often. And may you always return to love.